Good afternoon, evening, morning. Those of you that are joining me live right now, it's getting dark in my part of the world. And because we are less than a month from the winter solstice, I am Deborah Roth, back here with another installation in my ongoing video series, embodying your inner goddess team. And there is, when you go to YouTube, it's usually posted on YouTube sometime on, I don't know, Thursday or something, although that's Thanksgiving this week in the US. And there's a place that you can click if you want to find out why I am so passionate about bringing back, about invoking and learning and teaching about the divine feminine, and how more than ever I feel that our planet, our civilization, is in desperate need of those divinely feminine qualities of cooperation, of compassion, of empathy and collaboration. So without going into all of that on every video, that's why I've created that shorter one. So today it's interesting, I had brought up I always try and tie in my goddesses with either the season or a holiday or the theme. And I was thinking about Thanksgiving, and which brought up looking for harvest goddesses. So Sakwa Mana is the Hopi goddess of, she's the blue corn goddess of all of the peoples of the Pueblo. And her themes are prayer and communication and ceremony, cycles, harvest, there's the harvest, health and joy. And she's a perfect one for now, both seasonally, but also as we're headed in towards the winter solstice. She's not necessarily a harvest as in Thanksgiving related. She is who is most specifically honored by the Hopi and the other peoples of the Pueblo near the winter solstice. So you can certainly invoke her then, but her qualities and what she represents, I thought, just felt very apropos for right now. Just a little bit, so you can play with her on your own if you want to call on her energy. She is the blue corn goddess, so her color is blue. I'm covered in blue today, one of my favorite colors. And her symbols are obviously blue corn, or any corn for that matter, prayer sticks, and pine. And I'll share with you at the end just some ideas of how you might gift someone, how you might with a Sakwa Mana flavored hi Miriam, yay, with a Sakwa Mana flavored gift, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But she's honored, as I said, during the winter solstice by when people carry in a tray of blue corn and spruce boughs. So, the branches from spruce trees or pine trees, really nice, wonderful, smelly evergreens of the season. So if you want to gather that kind of thing around you, and as we do this, and certainly we're going to be moving into that, those of us that celebrate the holiday season with evergreens, you can certainly do that over the next several weeks until we do come up to the winter solstice. But I thought her myth is one, I know a lot of goddess myths and a lot of goddess stories. This one, and I'm always looking for the ones that are not too patriarchal. There are different versions depending on when they emerged. And this one has flavors of it, but she retains her power, let's put it that way. And it's a myth that I wasn't really familiar with. So Soyal, I'm sorry, that's the name of the winter solstice in the Hopi land. Sakwa Mana was just a beloved goddess of the Hopi, and really, as I said, of all the Pueblo Native Americans. And she was supposed to be the prettiest of the Corn Maidens of all of her sisters. She was kind and gentle. She was thought to bring health and happiness wherever she went. And in her celebration that happens around the winter solstice, there are rituals that are performed so that people can honor and show gratitude for everything that they brought to harvest, that everything that has manifested in the old year, in order to make space for new abundance to flow in through Sakwa Mana and other goddesses and spirits who are supporting the people. Her story is that she was originally, when she first walked the land, the Hopi people could draw sustenance from her all year round, not just in the summer months and the warm months. And she loved that. She was very closely connected. They loved her. And one day she went a little bit on a cold winter day. She went out to gather firewood, and she saw, let's see, I want to make sure, Winter Ketsina, who is the spirit who brings winter to the earth. And as soon as he saw her, he fell in love with her and spirited her away, promised her all kinds of lovely things to come back to his home with him, which she did. And as soon as she came inside, he covered all the windows and the doors with ice and snow so that she was basically a prisoner. He loved her, treated her very well, but she was sad. She wanted to get back to her people and to her own home. And so one day when he was out hunting and making more snow in the world, she removed some of the snow from the front door and was able to get out just enough to see if she could find any of her beloved blue corn or any sign of sustenance in the ground, growing in the ground outside. The only thing she was able to find under the cover of snow were 4 yucca branches. Were they branches? Blades, okay, of yucca. She took the yucca back into Winter Katsina's house, and she started a fire, which melted all the snow, obviously. And in walked Summer Katsina, who was the spirit, who was a friend of hers, because obviously he was the one who was around in the summertime. And he approached her with some corn in one hand, and in the other hand were several blades of yucca. And at that moment, of course, we have to have a little conflict here. Winter Katsina returned to the home, was, of course, very angry that Summer Katsina that was there and that Sakwa Mana was trying to escape. And he brought in this roar of winter snow and with a ball of ice in one hand, and in another hand, he had an icicle. And he was ready to use them as weapons. And when he clearly was going to fight over our beloved Sakwa Mana, fight with the Summer Katsina to win her so that she would stay there. And as soon as he blew a blast of cold air, the Summer Katsina blew a blast of warm and melted it and resisted it. And then when he raised his icicle knife, the Summer Katsina raised his bundle of yucca leaves and turned them and set them on fire, and that melted the icicle. Isn't that just, I love all the symbolism here. So then at that point, the Winter Katsina saw that he really needed to negotiate with the Summer Katsina. And clearly, because they both cared for Sakwa Mana, and she let them duke it out. But basically what they decided is that she would return to the earth. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like Demeter and Persephone? That she would return to earth for the summer months and then come to the Winter Katsina in the winter months. So there, and I love the way that this particular rendering of it is that so the Blue Corn Maiden was always, now for the Hopi people, is always when she reappears, it's the sign of summer. I'm sorry, the sign of springtime, that summer is on its way. And even though occasionally there are blasts of winter after Katsina, after Sakwa Mana reappears, that's just the winter Katsina reminding everyone how much he loves Sakwa Mana, and that she'll be returning to him in the winter. So, isn't that a beautiful myth? So, you can call on her yourself when you can certainly do it at the winter solstice. And as I always say, the archetypes, the qualities of any of these goddesses, they are archetypes of the divine feminine. You can call on them all year round. Obviously, there's certainly some power to doing it in their particular season or holy day or whatever. But right now, with Thanksgiving this week, you can call on her as a celebration of harvest. You might give someone a thank you, giving them a feather that's wrapped in spruce or pine boughs with that, that really fragrant smell. And then the feather will be infused with that smell over time, and you can use the feather when you want to do any smudging and any kind of ritual work where you would use feathers. So that's one of the ways you can do it. The other, not too many of us eat blue corn off the cob. It's not quite the season for that anyway, but we do eat blue corn chips. So if you want to invoke her for some of those qualities that she brings to us, to improve communication and that negotiation piece that we saw between the winter and the summer Katsina, or just prayers and ceremony, for joy, for happiness. She is known to really, the Hopi and Pueblo people recognize her as being someone who, because she is gentle and kind, and for sustenance, for nourishment, literally, with her corn. So I'm going to leave you with a chant that I haven't done in a while. It's an old favorite. I say it's one of those that's fun for kids of all ages, and I don't know that you'll be able to see all of my hand movements, but it's a beautiful one for honoring the elements, which of course corn needs to grow. Blue corn or any other corn needs to know. It needs the air, of course. It needs the fire of the sun. Obviously needs the earth, needs water in order to be nourished, in order to then turn around and give us sustenance. So that one goes. Let's see if I can do this in a way that you can see. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. And I realized I didn't show you a beautiful photo. So listen to that. This is my favorite that I found because she is so blue. And then the always wonderful Goddess Oracle has a rendition of Corn Goddess that's not blue, but Corn Goddess is a pretty well-known and revered goddess in all of the Southwestern American Pueblo traditions. So all for now. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy harvest, and bring Sakwa Mana, her energy and her kindness and her communication and her rituals into your life, maybe even into your Thanksgiving celebration. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.